we go, heading into our local theater on a Monday night. Tell me your thoughts.
Imagine if this is your theater.
It is very pretty. For reference, it's pretty. But we are headed in. Usually this theater is super empty. We are seeing the 6:50 showing. They have the old style, time boards up here.
It's really nostalgic.
Yeah, so, the camera hates it, but 6:50 right there. Let's do it. First things first, snacks. I like these. What you thinking?
I'm gonna do a Topo Chico.
Quickly have to show off my fit. The Conjuring house. As you can see, it's a popular place on a Monday night. Will we find our seats?
It's never been fully empty.
That's gonna be us.
We can do like in-film reviewing.
Can you believe we're the only ones here?
I cannot. I'm genuinely surprised because usually there's a couple people. Maybe some people show up before the thing really starts. But
I got us a private showing and I just didn't tell you.
that was a lot of money for it.
Just kidding. All right, we just did it.
3,500 hours later, we're out of that movie.
We're gonna save our reactions for the pod.
Yeah, we'll see you next on the set. We'll get, maybe not tonight, I don't know, but we'll set up on the set and we'll go through. I took copious notes.
He was note-taking, so let's review them now. We're in the studio now.
All right, we're back in the studio. It's been a little while since we've been here, hasn't it?
Well, you guys just saw us like 2 seconds ago.
That's true.
But for us, it's been a full 24 hours, enough time for us to digest, really think about this.
Deep movie.
Yeah.
To marinate in it.
This piece of art.
Yes.
And so that we could give an accurate and thorough assessment as we are the experts on the topic.
That's what people come here for.
They do.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
okay.
You had a formula in your head, or
I did. I always have a formula.
She always has a structure.
Okay. I first wanted to give our general thoughts.
Okay.
High level overview. Give me the 10,000 foot view.
And let's just say word spoilers. This is a spoilers video.
Oh yeah.
If you want to give like a number, like a rating out of 10, and then they can leave if they don't want spoilers.
Spoilers start now.
No. Okay.
Okay, we'll give like an overview.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did it just like in chapters, I guess, for the movie, so we can talk about what happened in the beginning. I have a section for the middle. I have like the climax of the film, and then I have the ending.
Okay.
And then also at the end of this episode, stay tuned, we will be adjusting our Conjuring ranking. So if you haven't seen that video, definitely go check that out first. There were 9 movies at the time of filming that video, and now there are 10.
10 wonderful films.
Yeah. So you're joking, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I liked.
So yeah, give me your thoughts. Give me your general feedback.
General feedback was it was longer than it needed to be.
Okay.
It dragged in the middle substantially.
Okay.
I thought the beginning and the end were fun.
Wow.
That's high
We're
level.
going to have like wildly different opinions.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
interested.
so crazy.
I'm interested to hear.
My first comment, spoilers again, first comment I put on this bullet of multiple page notes. One of the best Conjuring movies.
Okay. I don't immediately or vehemently disagree with you.
Okay, is this going to have to be a persuasion essay on why I should convince you that this is a good movie? No.
Well, I said I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
I don't think,
So what I liked about it, I guess we can start there and then you can criticize. I thought the storytelling was really good. I think that has been missing from a lot of other Conjuring films. Some common feedback that we've given in the past is like too many jump scares, story doesn't make sense, too many characters, too confusing. I think that this film did a good job at correcting all of that.
Yes.
I also, at a high level, really liked that it focused on the Warrens as a family. Again, a criticism of some of their other films is that the Warrens were kind of like sprinkled in there or took place in their house, but they weren't really there, or they were in like some small bit. I like that this one just was the Warrens and they were the main characters and the story was related to them and the movie was about them. I liked that focus because they are my favorite, obviously, characters.
Yes, I actually agree with you 100%. That's one of my notes in my phone here. Was I appreciate that the Warrens were actually in this movie and they were like main characters. So in a lot of these movies, they do like an intro where it shows like them talking or interviewing somebody and then it cuts away from them. And then it's like just has a whole movie and then they come in like at the end.
Yeah, I'm actually realizing that we should probably give you like a quick overview as to like the plot.
Oh yeah, we probably should.
So I'm just like talking about it. So basically the summary of the plot of this movie is that it starts out with the Warrens having their child, Judy. At that time, you can see that while the child is being born, there's some demonic issues going on that seem to subside. Judy grows up. The Warrens are doing one of their normal investigations. They're supposed to be retired. The guy has heart issues. And so they're really like, hey, we're taking a step back from this whole ghost hunting thing. But of course, they're convinced to re-engage with this particular family who has been struggling with several ghosts, and we later find out that it is actually a demon.
Shocking.
The Warrens, including Judy, her new fiance, and Ed and Lorraine, all go to this house to investigate. It turns out that the demon is, as we've seen before, is hiding behind two other ghosts that were part of the land that the house was built on. There was like an old lady and like an axe murderer, but those spirits are being manipulated by the true demon, which is the demon of the house. And so they find out that is the same demon that was originally kind of haunting them back when Judy was born. They never dealt with it fully when Judy was born. And so now they are fully dealing with it. And we can talk about the climax and the ending when we get there. But that's basically the synopsis, is that they're investigating this house with this demon. It's following the life of Judy now that she's an adult. It's exploring what the Warrens are like in their older age. And it revisits a lot of the history of the Conjuring films and kind of nicely ties out the story as a whole, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree. It's kind of wrapping up the current Ed and Lorraine Warren storyline and passing the torch to their daughter, Judy, and her husband.
I have a comment on that I'll talk about later.
Okay.
So yeah, did you have any initial takes before we get into like the first part of the film?
Initial takes. You already mentioned my main one was I appreciate that Ed and Lorraine Warren were in this movie and they were the main characters of this movie, because a lot of times they come in as side characters or it's more like a cameo role than it is like an actual Conjuring movie. So I appreciated that they were in it so much. Overall, I appreciated the long shots of like ghosts and demons and stuff. And like, it wasn't just like a pan to something in the dark. It was like them getting chased around the house by an axe wielding ghost. And I liked that, because a lot of times it's just like jump scare, they're gone. But it's like jump scare, they're there and they're hanging out.
Yeah.
So I liked that.
Cool. Is that it?
For now.
Okay. Okay. Let's check into the beginning.
Yes.
So in the beginning of the film, it introduces all the characters. It introduces obviously Ed and Lorraine and Judy and Judy's boyfriend, soon to become fiance. I really liked all of the characters that they introduced. Not only the Warren family is like kind of grown up, but also the family who is being haunted. It was like a big family of 8 people living in one house. I felt like they were very realistic and that their background of all the characters across the board actually made sense. I feel like it was also in line with like the real story when it comes to characters and like Ed and Lorraine trying to retire kind of situation, Ed having that heart issue. I feel like that all grounded the story very well. I will say, you want to talk about your positives at the beginning before I dig into some negatives?
Sure.
Okay.
So I noted that I said intense intro, probably the most intense intro of any of the movies.
I did that. That was one of the things that I noted. I said opening scene was a shock and definitely got you hooked.
Yeah, like the whole like birth scene.
Yeah, it was the original. The opening was like Judy being birthed, and it's storming, and it's, I don't know what year it was, but it looked like very old times.
And I like that.
It's like the 60s or something, and it was very dramatic.
And the main demon portal, I guess we'll call it, is a big mirror that's like wooden frame, very tall, and it has like 3 like angel type creature. Like I don't know if they're like angels, but they look like angels along the top, like faces of angels. And I thought that was I like that way more than the Annabelle doll. So like I thought like at least that looks cool. It looks spooky. I thought that was good. I also liked the 60s and then very quickly the 80s vibe.
Yeah, that's actually what I commented on too. I said that like the artistry and the setting for this was very good.
Yep.
It felt cozy and nostalgic almost like classic Halloween vibes, which I also really liked.
It gave Stranger Things.
Very Stranger Things. That's a great way to put it. Yeah, but I liked the setting and the coloring and the stylization.
Yes. And then, so in the intro, what happens is Ed and Lorraine Warren are on their first hunt or first case where they encounter a demon. Lorraine touches the mirror. It cracks the mirror a little bit. And then the baby gets injured. Baby gets born. And I liked in the scene where Judy's being born, there was like a demon that followed Lorraine to the hospital. And it like kind of crawls around the edge and you see its like hands coming along the ceiling. I really like that.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a cool scene. I like how it actually showed the thing.
Yeah.
And not just like hinted. Ooh.
And when it showed it, it wasn't like very CGE where you're like, oh, this is dumb.
Yes.
I feel like I actually found, and I'll comment on this later, a lot of the ghosts like actually haunting.
Yes. Overall comment about the movie was the effects were very good.
They were.
And I liked him. Like, again, the axe wielding guy.
Yes.
I was like, he's spooky.
I
like they look good.
him.
It must have been like more practical effects.
Yeah.
Mixed with CG than normal, because I was like, this actually looks good in the way that like the orcs and goblins and Lord of the Rings look good.
Yeah.
But like the animated ones in The Hobbit look terrible.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a similar situation.
I 100% agree. And I'm actually going to comment on that ghost later on.
Okay.
One more thing that I liked too at the beginning is it introduced some characters that you had seen in previous films. For example, bringing back like the priest, I thought was really cool.
Larry David.
Yeah.
He looks like Larry David. I was like, they have Larry David in this movie?
But there's like throughout the film, they do a good job, and I'll talk about the ending, but they do a good job of like bringing back older characters and actors. I liked that.
Yeah, that was fun.
The one thing that I didn't like about the beginning, so fair warning, if you are watching this, it made me super motion sick. I do not understand why they decided to film like the first portion of the movie is like almost like first person home video, not in that it's supposed to be first person, but the camera style is like really all over the place. No one is like really in focus. Good news is it doesn't last. So it's definitely just like maybe the first 10, maybe 15 minutes or so of the movie. Don't let that turn you off. But it was difficult for me to get through. I started getting like really worried that I wasn't going to be able to watch the film. That was brutal. And I don't know why they did that. I don't think it added anything. So that was my one negative of the beginning. Yeah.
When they were introducing the family in Pennsylvania, they did like one of those things where it's like one long shot. They were trying to make it look like one long shot at least. And then the characters were being introduced in and off camera. So it's a lot of movement. And like you were like,
oh my God.
I remember you were like, I'm going to be sick. Like,
yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. But it doesn't last. It gets way better. It returns to normal style.
Yep.
So that's kind of my summary of the beginning. So then when I think about the middle of the movie, so the actual haunting, the storyline with Judy and her fiance getting engaged, the priests encouraging the Warrens to return to help this family. I really liked the hauntings of the house, if that makes sense, kind of going back to the characters in the CG.
You're talking about the family, right? Not the Warrens.
Sorry. Yeah. The haunted, the house that the movie takes place in that is being haunted. I thought that was I don't know. I just really liked it. I thought it was not overly complicated. There were very clear characters and ghosts, like I mentioned. And I also think that it pulled classic elements from other movies that I liked. One good example is when the priest is going and trying to bless the house with holy water, and he goes into the basement and he blesses it. The water evaporates, so you can see steam or something,
or burns up.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Which is a classic indicator to you if you're watching the Conjuring movies that means there's a demonic presence. So I really liked that. I like that the mirror, like you mentioned, is a very clear haunted object. There's no guessing of, is it that? Is it this? We understand as fans that there are objects who are haunted that's associated with the presence. Those objects need to be dealt with accordingly. And I also like that there was just general logic throughout the film that a lot of times doesn't apply to other haunted films. For example, your first thought, right, is why doesn't this family get the heck out of here? Good reason. There's 8 of them. There's multiple generations living in this house, and they did not have enough money to go stay at a hotel. Yeah, which I thought it's that makes total sense. I understand why you have to stay in this house.
Yeah, they lived in coal mining country in the 80s. So contextually, that's declining income. You could tell they were kind of scraping by.
Yeah.
And so it made sense that they weren't let's get the heck out of here.
Yeah. And it made sense too that they were seeking help. They weren't just dealing with a demon. I really liked that they went to the media in order to get assistance for this situation. Obviously, they don't have enough money to pay someone to come and formally investigate. They've been trying to get the church involved. No one's really listening to them. It makes sense to get the local news involved. So I like that those types of decision making was logical. And then I also just, again, clearly establishing the character groups, clearly establishing the haunted house family, the Warren family, and then tracking how the crossover occurred. It wasn't overly complicated. It was very easy to track. And I go back to the characters with regards to the ghosts. That axe guy was my absolute favorite. His makeup and everything was really good. The one comment that I did say is when he first appeared on camera, he's kind of in the corner, a little shaded, and he looked exactly like Keanu Reeves.
You said that, you're it's Keanu Reeves.
So I was what the heck is Keanu Reeves doing in the corner?
What a great, if he played that character and he just comes out and he's what's up, dude? He just chases him
And then the other old lady is another ghost there. I like that she was scary, but not gross. A lot of times they'll do that.
Yeah. When they showed her I think it was the first time at the Ed in the bed.
Yeah.
I've never seen Leah literally jump out of her chair and scream in a movie.
That is my last bullet that I had for this section. It was probably one of the best jump scares I've ever had in a movie ever. And it wasn't, granted, there was 2 people in the theater, but the other people also screamed and jumped. So it wasn't just me. It got everyone in the theater. Joe, unfortunately, was taking notes at the time. It's on his phone. It out the corner of my eye. So he didn't catch it the way that the rest of us did. But it was an audible scream by everyone in the theater, physically jumping out of my seat. It got me so good.
Again, the makeup was good. She looked scary. Yeah. And the actress that was playing her did a good job. The whole thing was genuinely creepy in a way that these movies miss a lot.
Agreed.
When it's just some sort of CGI thing or the person disappears as soon as you see them.
Right. Or again, if you overdo it, you're always expecting the jump scare. But because this film didn't, it really caught everyone off guard. Yeah, I love that one.
I would say I loved, because it was super simple, was the phone cord scene. So there's a scene where the mom of the family is in the kitchen. The haunt is just starting. And side comment, I liked how quickly the haunt escalated. Yeah. They didn't screw around. They're just right into it. There's scary stuff from the start. It's not the toy might have moved once, it was just boom, haunted lady.
Yeah.
But I like the mom in the kitchen. She's talking on the phone and she thinks that her daughters are pulling on the phone cord, back when phones had cords. And then she turned around and it was getting pulled into like the pantry with the lights off. And she said, "Come out of there, girls." And then the girls run, of course, from off camera somewhere else. And so she's like, "Oh," she turns on the light and the cord is like coiled up in the empty pantry.
It pulls the phone like out of her hand.
But it was very good. It was a well done scene.
Yeah.
Because you knew it was kind of like you knew it was going to happen, or you got an idea, and it was like well executed. Again,
those like classic haunts that I thought were really well done, just across the whole movie.
Yeah. I'll say another good scary scene is when the doll floats up into the air.
Oh my God.
So like there's like a doll and it's the mom's or the daughter was going up to it, right? Yeah. And like usually like you expect the doll to maybe move or turn its head or something, but it like rolls over in a not cheesy way.
Right.
Which is important.
That is important.
And then it like kind of floats up in the air and then you're like, oh, that's scary. But then the old lady appears holding the doll and that shocked me. I didn't think they were going to do that. So that was good.
Yeah. Again, I feel like a broken record, but there's so many like classic haunts that they just, like you said, executed really well. Because, everyone's heard of the haunted doll, you know what I mean? But the way that they did it with the old lady was scary. So I don't know. That's one reason why I really liked it. I'm interested to say that you said it was slow paced because to your comment, I thought they got right into the action.
Well, yeah, I guess I kind of lumped that into the beginning a little bit.
Okay.
I'm thinking more of like the scene where the proposal happens and then Lorraine's looking over the sink and then the whole priest thing.
Oh my God.
And like for that, like that part of it really dragged for me where I was like, I know where we're headed with this. Like, let's just get there.
That's fair. Yeah. I will say, commenting back on the sink, there is one scene that Joe just mentioned where Lorraine is looking into a sink and it, classic, like fills with blood and overflows.
Sinks do.
Again, it's classic haunt, right? They pulled it directly from The Shining, right? When the elevator door is filled with blood and it's gushing, which I really liked because we obviously just went to the Stanley. So, but again, I like it. I recognize that it's common, but I like the way it was executed. And it doesn't do what you think it's going to do. She's sticking her hand in the sink, in the disposal, you think it's going to, and then her hand's going to be mangled, but it's not it. It turned into like a blood overflow scene. And I was like, nice.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be like she hallucinated her hand getting, kind of like, spoiler, the priest, how he hallucinated that scene. I thought she was going to then hallucinate.
Yeah.
That's what I was expecting. But
we can talk about that scene with the priest too. Again, I'm sorry, guys. I hate to say it, bringing back other elements of other movies, going back to one of our favorite elements was The Nun, right? And you think the reality is what it is, but turns out it's not. That's what happened to this priest as he was going to the church for help. It turns out the church was, I guess, possessed or something, or he was hallucinating.
He started, like, my interpretation was like, until he was talking with the nun. Like that was all not hallucinating, and then he started hallucinating, and then like that manifested as him killing himself.
I'm not so sure that it was hallucinating. I would maybe say possessed. Or some dark energy was causing what he thought to be reality not to be reality, and it kind of drove him mad to the sense where he ends up unaliving himself, and that is what gets the Warrens to engage with the family. But I like just a little sprinkle in here of what's real, what's not. I always love that twist in a movie, so I thought that was really well done.
I guess staying kind of in their early middle, I thought the dad of the family looked like a serial killer. He creeped me out.
Oh, I think it was just the 80s.
He looked super creepy. I was like,
I think that's just what old men looked like in the 80s.
I was like, I don't know if he's more of a threat or the demon, but their whole house kind of, I think they were trying to make them look like they didn't have a lot of money, but it was like for a house in the 80s, it was pretty barren and like wooden. Because when I think of the 80s,
obviously
I think
it's supposed to be scary. Also, they're poor.
That's true, but.
I mean, it's a haunted house, dude. You gotta.
True. I retract.
You're not gonna have like a fancy like marble floor haunted house. You know what I mean? Yeah. Any other thoughts on like the middle? Because my next comments are kind of like on the climax of the film.
Yeah. No, we can move forward.
Okay.
Because my next comments are like not end, but kind of like
the climax of the film. Mm-hmm. Okay. So basically, again, summary of kind of what's going on. The Warrens learn that the demon is the demon that they saw when Judy was born. The demon wants Judy, just like the way the demon wanted Judy when she was being born. So Judy is like being possessed. She finds the haunted mirror. Mm-hmm. Eventually, we'll get to the ending, but they like fight off the demon in the haunted mirror. I thought that the fact that the demon wanting Judy made sense from a storytelling perspective.
Yeah, like it was coming after her the whole time.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Totally made sense. Referenced in the beginning, referenced at the end. Mm-hmm. It wasn't out of left field. I thought that made sense. They also sprinkled in a little bit of Annabelle. I was excited by this, but there was a scene where Annabelle turns into like a giant monster Annabelle. And I was like, this seems unnecessary and very strange. So I did not love that piece.
That's a huge gripe.
Okay.
There was far too much Annabelle in this movie to the point where I thought at the end where it said like, miss me on the wall.
Yeah. You thought it was Annabelle?
I thought the whole thing was Annabelle.
I think they were supposed to. I think you were supposed to think it was Annabelle.
Okay. But it showed her throughout the whole movie. Yeah. And then like also showing up in the haunted house. So like it showed up in the Warren house. Hello? It showed up in the haunted house. It showed up in the...
That's the point.
I know.
As throughout the movie, you're supposed to think that it's Annabelle going after Judy.
I can see that.
Okay.
It annoyed me for the same reason.
Okay.
Where it's like, stop with the Annabelle.
Okay.
I'm done with the doll. I didn't like the movies. I didn't want to see
I understand that you personally don't like the doll.
True. I guess it's very sellable.
But the whole, they're trying to get you to think it's Annabelle, the whole movie. Mm-hmm. That's like the point.
Okay.
Otherwise, like, why would they just like just throw her in throughout the whole thing?
She's a recognizable
No, she's
IP.
A demon, right? And so she's coming after Judy. No, that's not what it is. Spoiler, Annabelle has nothing to do with it. She's still locked away. That's why they did that.
I know she's locked away in the thing because they keep showing me she's locked away in the thing. So I know it's not her.
Yeah.
So stop showing her on screen.
Right. But the demon knew. Uh-huh. Okay. So that's what you're supposed to think as the viewer. Mm-hmm. But then when you go a level deeper, the demon knew that Judy was scared of Annabelle. Mm-hmm. So the demon was using Annabelle to get to Judy.
That's true. That's a good point. I was just like, they won't stop showing me this thing that's like their other good
There
IP.
were layers that Joe just did not catch standard. But I liked that they, again, Judy references that she doesn't like dolls. Because again, back to the floating doll thing. And that the demon, right, it uses what will impact you the most. Because it's a demon. It's going to, poke your buttons. And so the demon knew that Judy hated Annabelle. So the demon was scaring Judy with Annabelle. That's where the miss me thing came from.
That makes sense.
Okay. It could also be interpreted as the miss me thing came from like, I was there when you were born, but I think it was meant to fool you into thinking it was Annabelle.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, giant Annabelle, that was super weird. The one confusing part almost of the whole movie that maybe you can explain to me. They're fighting with this mirror. They're trying to get it out. They send the fiance down to get the car ready. And then I think he just bolts.
No, I have a note about this too.
Okay, because in my head, it appeared to me as if he was trying to get the car started. The car wouldn't start. And then he finally got it started. And then he took off. Like he was trying to leave them for dead. No, and then he sees the woman who causes him to crash. The old woman, the ghost. And then when he crashes, he's like, well, I guess I better go help them. That's how I interpreted it.
That's not what happened.
Okay.
But I understand why you were so confused because that scene from him to when he gets back or like he goes back in the house is probably like the weirdest stretch of this whole movie. So like he's supposed to go get the car, bring the car around.
Yeah. What do you mean bring the car around?
Like to the front of the house so they can put the mirror in it.
Oh, so he was parked in the back?
No, that's the problem.
Why did he drive so far?
He presumably was not that far away from the house, but he takes off at like 80 miles an hour. Like
he passes like a long distance.
Does like a full like burnout turn. Yeah. Comes back towards the house again at like 80 miles an hour.
Like he was trying to run away.
In like a residential neighborhood. But his goal was to pull the car up in front of the house. But he did it at like 900 miles an hour and then crashed. but like it makes no sense.
It seemed like he was trying to run.
No, he was trying to bring the car around.
No, I know that's what they told us that he was trying to do, but the way it was like
filmed was like he was running.
Yeah, and I thought that was like the point that he was bailing on poor Judy.
No, yeah, he was not bailing.
Oh,
he was trying to casually bring the car around to put the mirror in it.
In the most aggressive. Yeah. He could have just left the car parked where it was and just turned it on.
Yeah,
like there was no need. We went like a long distance. I don't know how big this house is, but he does like the turnaround and then he boom and then he goes and then it hits.
Yeah, like if you had
like the neighbor's house.
If you had like seen this person doing this in front of your house, it would have been like someone's parked at your neighbor's house in front of it, like takes off down the road, burns out, comes back all the way down the other way down your road, assuming, it was just bizarre. It's just like what is this insane person doing?
I was confused. I thought he was, because they made this whole point, like, I love Judy for who she is. I'm not going to leave her. And then I thought he was leaving, but then he like had a second thought and he was like, oh, I better go.
No, he was just trying to pull the car around.
That was like very confusing.
And then another weird thing happens because like the Conjuring movies aren't known for like their creative cinematography or like,
Take that back.
Well, no, like, but I mean, they don't do like weird shots.
Yeah.
Like they're telling a story.
Artsy.
Yeah, they don't do like artsy shots, but like zooming back into the house, they like shot the camera up like way into the air. And I was like, am I watching like a Dementor scene from Harry Potter? Because they like shoot up into the clouds and it comes back in and like whips into the house. And I was just like, what shot was that?
I didn't even notice. I kind of thought it was cool.
Because to me, it made me feel like I was watching like Dementors and Harry Potter, like going up and
I probably just used to it from all the Harry Potter.
But I was like, yeah, because it was like that car scene and then that like a zoom back into the house. I was like, who had control over this scene?
Anyways, that was like the one confusing thing. Yeah. Thank you for... I'm still not totally convinced what you're saying is accurate, just based on how that was executed.
A lot goes in my head. I'm sure about that.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, fine.
It was just like a weird way to like pull the car around.
Okay, fine. I also liked that the classic, like, the basement is more haunted and the attic is more haunted scenes, like involving Lorraine and Judy. There was nothing like super special here. I just thought it was really well done. And like I said, even though there weren't a bunch of like jump scares in these final fighting scenes, there were some things like creepy things that occurred that would give me like the chills. So I really liked that. And then I'm ready to talk about the final defeating of the demon, if you are.
Yes.
Okay. So basically what happens is the Warren family are fighting against this demon in the mirror. The mirror is obviously trying to kill them all. Ed is having a heart attack, blah, blah, blah. To kind of backtrack a little bit, while Judy was growing up and she had these visions, because again, if you've seen her other Conjuring videos, she has a special eyes. Her mom has told her to put the demons away, ignore the demons, hide from the demons, and they'll go away. Demons, ghosts, etc. So that's what Judy has been told growing up by her mom on how to deal with this. And then they realize at the end of the film, the only way that Judy can defeat the demon is by not hiding and not putting it away. And basically like taking it head on or facing the demon, which I thought was using her special eyes to force the demon away. So her and her mom face the demon, use their special eyes, and that is what basically banished it. I like that as just like a storytelling element. I know it's like super cliche, but I liked that they referenced what I thought they referenced, the special eyes, and that you're not supposed to hide away from this. So I don't know. I thought that ending made sense.
Yeah, I like the ending a lot.
Yeah,
I like that they actually had some like agency.
Yeah,
because in a lot of these movies, and I think this is something we like so much about The Nun. Again, is like in these movies, they never seem like they can do anything to affect it. It just kind of leaves eventually when it needs to. But in this, like they were actually the agency like push back and like kick it out.
Yeah, it was very definitive and very clear.
And that's why I like The Nun, is because the same thing is like the nun was able to literally use her special laser vision on the demons and banish them or whatever. And it was just like, it gave the main characters some strength. And I like that storyteller. They also did a very good job of making effectively like a household item, like a legitimate threat. Like the way when they were trying to like carry it out of the house it was making itself heavier and they couldn't.
And they explained that it's making itself heavier.
Yep.
It's trying to stay.
Yeah. And then it traps them and starts basically pushing them through railing and physically hurting them.
And it's huge. It's, a 7-foot mirror or a 6-foot mirror. It's very large. Yeah, so it made logical sense that it was doing that too.
Yeah. It was just cool the way they didn't need to have a big scary makeup CG demon at the end. They just used a mirror and it was effective as a threat.
Agreed. Mm-hmm. And then as we talk about the ending here, I really liked that they closed out the rest of the series by Lorraine having a vision of what her future was like. A lot of times in these movies, they'll just rush through everything that happens until they died.
Yep.
But I thought this was a good way to explain their ending without rushing through it. Lorraine basically describes that she had a vision of what her future was like, and then she describes it and they show it. But that was a really nice, happy ending. I liked that they passed the keys essentially over to Judy and her husband. But I also like that they did not encourage Judy to ghost hunt. Yeah, so I would argue that Judy and her husband were not taking over the family business. Okay. I would argue that Judy and her husband were taking care of the things, the haunted objects that they needed to watch over. But it wasn't Judy, now you have to fight ghosts. It was we did this. You have a power. That doesn't mean that you have to, do something crazy with it. There's not expectations of you, do what you will with this. You're just now the guardians over these objects. I think it would have been too annoying to train Judy to ghost to ghost hunt. I like that they didn't do that. And also I really liked in the end credits where they had the photos and videos of the actual family.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just always like that. Yeah.
Yep.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would second what you said. I like the way they handle the ending and kind of bringing what is a very long cinematic journey kind of to an end with these characters. Also, they kept calling the guy who played Ed Warren, this old man. I'm like, he doesn't look old. He looks the
actor's only 54.
So. And he's fit, good head of hair. So he doesn't look old, but yeah, I thought they did a good job of kind of wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Setting up the next generation of hunters. Yeah. I'm sure they'll want to float that for business purposes, but overall enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it. And before we get into our rankings, and you'll see how much I enjoyed it, I have one huge issue.
Oh.
Almost made me walk out of the theater. I know it's been nothing but positive feedback thus far, guys, but I'm telling you, this was almost a hard deal breaker. Spoiler, obviously.
At this point, just so you know.
The demon is, doing what it wants with the family members. It's making them throw up blood, and it's making them, choke out and die, whatever. There is a golden retriever that is the family dog.
I was the second I saw that dog, I was like, that's a dead dog right there.
The demon has the balls while I'm watching to take this dog and throw it up against the wall. You hear the dog cry. You think the dog's neck is broken. It is tossing this dog. And I was like, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm not going to finish this movie. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. Thankfully, pretty soon after, I would say within the next 10, 15 minutes, they show the dog and the dog is fine.
Yes, they make it very clear the dog lives.
They show the dog healthy and well, and the dog was just doing an excellent little acting job.
I like how in the early movies, they the dog always dies in these movies. But in 2025, they're all right, we're not doing that anymore.
You know how many, how much hate it would get if the dog actually died?
I know.
People would be slamming this movie, saying it's the worst thing they've ever seen. They'd be giving it negative reviews.
By everybody mean you online under 20 different accounts.
Hey, okay. But it was rough. So if you see that, don't fret. It wasn't real. The dog is fine. Thank God.
Yes.
Okay. Anyways, now let's get into the ranking. As a reminder, I'm going to show you what our previous ranking was, and then we can discuss what our new ranking is. So previously in our last episode, we described the ranking as number 1, The Conjuring, The Nun, The Nun 2, The Conjuring 2, the Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, Annabelle Comes Home, Annabelle Creation, Annabelle, and then finally La Llorona, which shouldn't even be mentioned.
Yes.
So that was our previous ranking. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You can have the honors.
Okay. I put The Conjuring Last Rites at number 3.
Oh, okay.
I put The Conjuring is still my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
The Nun is still my second favorite. I preferred this over The Nun too. This made the top 3 list for me.
Okay.
And
That's
you?
respectable. That's respectable. I was thinking.
Okay. Don't let me sway you. I want your honest opinion.
Well, I was thinking because I was going to put it at 4. I was going to do Conjuring, Nun 1, Nun 2, and then this movie.
Uh-huh.
I would say I enjoyed the Nun 2 more. I will recognize that this was a better movie. Like, it was just like better, well shot.
Okay, that's great and everything. Can you please give the people your final ranking?
4.
Okay. You can't like wishy-washy. You always do that. Okay, number 4 from Joe.
Yep.
Number 3 from me. I think we can agree that this is one of the better Conjuring films as a whole. It made the top 50%. So I don't know. Do with that what you will. Yeah. I would say I would totally rewatch this one too. As I would rewatch The Conjuring, as I have many times.
Yeah, I would watch like Conjuring 1, 2, or this one.
Yeah.
And both the nuns again.
Yeah.
The rest of them, probably not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I like rewatchability. Yep. So that gave it some extra points. But there you have it, guy. Here is our final rankings on the screen for you. Here's Joe's. Here's mine. Let us know what you thought in the comments. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Do you agree? Disagree with what we had to say? How did you feel about the dog scene? Did it upset you as much as it upset me? Let us know.
Did you jump out of your chair?
Out of your scare.
Of your scare? Did you scare out of your chair?
Anyways, guys, thanks for sticking around for this one. Hope you like our thoughts. Mm-hmm. We liked the movie. And with that, we'll probably see you on the next episode here.
Yep.
Hopefully going back to our spooky series, but if not, maybe a haunted vlog. Yep. We'll mix it up.
You'll see us soon.
All right. Don't forget to stay spooky.
Bye, everybody.